Well, we've lucked out again, and we are here in Maine, about central Maine near the coast. And we are here at the Turtle Island Healing Ceremony. And we have got lucky and ran into one of the greatest spokesmen I've ever seen. Brings me right to tears. So I'll try to hold on from blubbering in the background. And we've convinced her to tell us some of the tales of her travels. Actually, we threatened to break her arm, but anyway, here we go. I'd like to introduce to you First Light.
A few years ago, I had the honor and the privilege of accepting a position at a university, a graduate school in northwest New Mexico. The Gallup Graduate Studies Center was a site for returning Peace Corps Fellows, Teach for America, and some local teachers getting master's degrees in elementary and secondary education. The program belonged to Western New Mexico University, located in southern New Mexico in Silver City. While I was there, I learned much about the Navajo. I should say that our program provided professional development and higher education for teachers teaching on the Zuni Pueblo and the Gallup-McKinley schools, predominantly Navajo students. And I do want to say that our program was designed by some magnificent educators who are no longer there, unfortunately. So I just want to give a shout out to some of the people who started the program. What I learned during my time in Gallup was primarily about the largest nuclear disaster in this country that is very unknown by mainstream U.S. Americans, and that it took place a little beyond Church Rock, New Mexico, where uranium trailings traveled down the Porco River for about 35 miles. And the children and the adults who were most affected by this radioactivity, this toxicity, suffer still today some of the craziest destruction that I've seen that can happen to our minds and our bodies. So the individuals who were most affected as children at that time, I met and knew in Gallup during the summers from Memorial Day to Labor Day. There's outdoor dancing. Different tribes from around Pueblo and Navajo come out and do drumming and public dancing. And these individuals are brought in on trucks to enjoy the music and the dancing. And my heart just broke as I looked at these individuals with such unusual exceptionalities, we would call them in the special ed program. And then many of our teachers were in the schools in Church Rock and special education programs. And the United States government still has yet to completely clean up the uranium trailings. If you travel on I-40, which runs from Albuquerque through Gallup into Flagstaff, near that Red Rock Casino area, you can still find yellow cake there today, remnants of yellow cake. And I happen to have been in New Mexico about 2.5 weeks ago with David Ragland, co-founder of the Truth Telling Project, which grew out of the uprising after Michael Brown Jr.'s death in Ferguson. And I serve as the co-director presently of the Truth Telling Project. And I connected myself and David with a Navajo activist, director of Anna Rondon, director of a social justice organization in Gallup. And we talked about building solidarity between our movements. And one of the events that I learned about that was taking place this very weekend while we gather here in Maine was to address the uranium spillings, the trailing, and to organize and to protest and to address health issues. And I just want to bring to the world's attention the ways in which the Navajo have suffered from not only from all of the other issues that come along with the displacement of individuals and deeper root causes of poverty. I want to really bring our attention to the issue of uranium in New Mexico. So much attention goes to coal and the myth of natural coal, but these mines that have been inactive for a period of time have, as far as I understand, have been purchased by a Chilean company, and there's talk about reusing these mines. My message to all is about alternative energy, and what I learned. My husband at the time was working with Gallup Solar, and as the Navajo outreach person, and I've learned not to talk about the sun as a free resource, but as a gift, and just to encourage people to pursue alternate ways as we look at our consumption, also to look at alternate forms of appropriate technology, sun, wind, and to be very well aware and to put some of your outrage that you're feeling towards the current political system, place some of that outrage into what's happening in our urban communities, where mothers are not sure if their sons and daughters can return home from school or from the candy store, as with Tamir Rice, and as well as become aware of the uranium issues in New Mexico.
Wow. So if someone wanted to research this or better connect themselves, where would they go to? Either internet or social media to follow or help? Is there a place they could go to?
Well, in terms of educating young people, there Navajo Nation individuals created interesting, really good curriculum that I believe is housed in Navajo Nation in Window Rock, or is downloadable. In terms of individuals to talk to, it's the Red Rock Chapter House, and I'm forgetting the name of the women who came to our gathering in Gallup. Anna Rondon would be the key person, and she's the executive director of the McKinley County Social Justice Organization.
So if they research Red Rock, it would lead them that way.
And uranium tailings, yeah, tailings.
Well, New Light, thank you very much.
I'm not used to my new name.
Well, thank you.